Hikaru Nakamura opening this game with the king pawn, and these are the normal moves. You fight for the center. It's what you're supposed to do unless your name is Magnus, world number 1. You play what you want, and this is what we saw. It's a rewind game to 4th of July 2023. Magnus doing unreal things in this game and unreal things in the tournament. Wait till you see the final standings. So after this move of d4, taking the center, Magnus surely expands a bit maybe, or e6, no siree, he now pushes this little pawn. It's a very ugly opening, still not getting his bits out over here. Hikaru now thrusts through the center, and actually that's a mistake. So often when your opponent's nerdling around, you're best off to just hold the 4, not create chinks in the armour. But this was played. Now the pawn's defended. Captures from Magnus, you could definitely take back. Best line with pawn or knight, but this tricky move is played and Hikaru's just gone wrong. Straight away, even the super grandmothers don't always remember their opening theory cheese, and after this one's dropping off the board, although it restores the material, Magnus can now kick it back and come out with a check. And the problem is when you block, this central pawn is dropping. Magnus won to the good. However, because the queen's out early, Hikaru does get some initiative. This is probably best, or this, but he tries this just to break even more rules. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4 knight moves now. That's too many. Queen dropping back here, bishop e3, and it threatens to do something nasty like this. Technically the best way to defend that is with knight c5, which looks very weird. But the idea is, after bishop blocks here, now you can play queen g4, because there's no longer protection on this square, it's a double hit, and therefore after Magnus goes d5, best move to hold his knight in the center. Also pressure this one. Hikaru can crash through, restore the material here, and Magnus having to slide over. It's a tense battle here. Online chess, of course, in case I didn't mention, titled Tuesday Classic. We now see takes on c5, queen recaptures, and the knight really is about to drop. So it comes back to this square here. 5th move in the game already. Queen b6 from Magnus. You'd love to castle, get super aggressive, cover the pawn, but then you run into this. Magnus going to Forktown. So, no castles, rook b1. Now we see the seahorse spawned, bishop d3, and after bishop d7, we can see where Magnus is headed, so Hikaru cuts it off here, first taking the knight though, shattering the structure, then doing it, but as indicated, actually a bit better was to take this pawn, then run round and take this one, and then just desperately hold on for dear life and try and weather the black attack which would come. But this was played, stopping the castling. So Magnus, he drops back with the queen here. Loves a queenless endgame. Hikaru declines, pawn is hit, defended, but the king's feeling drafty. Knight c4, this looking absolutely deadly, and the absolute best move is pawn e5, because even though black can lose the pawn or white can take, if you go queen b8 here, this is actually winning a piece because you're a bit trapped. If knight d3, then takes here, and this is why the queen should be on b8 and not c7. So we run it back. e5 was the move, but missed. Magnus goes queen f6, and now actually Hikaru swings a bit better. Rook d1 is strong, or queen c7 as we see in the game. Not the check, looks amazing, but if you try and go for this, suddenly knight e5, headed to d3. Your own king's exposed. Where's the follow-up shot? So that isn't the best way. So instead Hikaru does this one, pawn pressured, Magnus drops back here, and you should actually take that pawn. The queen is not getting trapped, has a square here. Queen b8 is the best. We go from there. but not played. We see the queen backing up. This now offers a repetition potentially, but bang, check. Hikaru doesn't want it. Again, taking the pawn, bad. As discussed, you run into this stuff, right? So instead we see knight c4 played, but now Magnus can pounce back with pawn e5. Suddenly, it's Hikaru backing up. Bishop e6 is played to hit the knight. Check, but Magnus goes for a little castle by hand. I mean, it really is unique chess that he's playing in some of these tournaments. You should really go knight e2 here. Just finish that development right. But f3 was tried. Now if takes, lovely. Bring a piece into the game, pressure the centre and stuff. But of course Magnus doesn't take. He plays king g8. And now what to do? You're kind of paralysed as white. Maybe b3 best to give the knight some support. But knight e2 was tried, and it truly is horrendous. Look at the bar dropping here, stockfish poop in its pants, because after takes, you can't take back, or you lose an entire piece to check. So often tactics flow from an exposed king. If knight blocks, well, f4 is strong, or even just doing this. Lateral support, pieces dropping. So back to the game. Hikaru desperately tries this, but takes. This is not what you want for your king position. Pawn f4, and here they come. Like space invaders running down the board. f3 is achieved, and the writing's on the wall. We see knight d6 played. Rook a d8. Rook d1. Queen f4, and the threats are just insurmountable. The pawn's dropping here. There could be check ideas if the queen's ever distracted. E-pawn could be running. So in the game we saw knight fe4 as some kind of desperate attempts for play, but there are many winning moves. The cleanest and most direct shot is rook takes on d6, found by Hikaru and forcing resignation. Because if knight captures, then you can push on with check, and the rook's dropping soon leads to mate. If instead we go rook captures, then there's takes here with check, and again bad stuff starts happening. And if queen captures, now you don't even have to take the knight with check. You can actually mate in one because the white queen was covering this square. Absolute pummeling, and here's the tournament standings. Magnus goating the field with 11-0. Absolutely phenomenal performance. Hope you enjoyed this throwback, and have a look at the video on screen in case you missed a truly exceptional game he played recently. Hope to see you again soon. Cheers.